Too much stuff and clutter in our homes is stressing us homemakers out more than we realize. It's easy to accumulate items over time, especially with children and the various needs of a family. However, all this excess can weigh heavily on our minds and spirits, contributing to a sense of overwhelm and chaos. Stress, no matter what kind, if left unmanaged, is known to be directly related to all kinds of different health ailments, from stomach pains and digestive discomfort to acne, high blood pressure, and even excess weight you can't seem to get rid of. Stress can cause all of these and more. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid." By intentionally decluttering and simplifying our homes, we can create a home that is more of a sanctuary and a place of rest and comfort for both the body and mind, thus promoting a healthier body and mind. If you're new here, my name is Janae. I'm a homemaker and stay-at-home mom to my 2 toddlers, and I've been with my husband for over 12 years. Subscribe to this channel to join this community of awesome women who are here to encourage and uplift one another, and to see more videos about homemaking, being a wife and mother, all with a biblical viewpoint. I have felt for a while now that we have just accumulated way too much stuff in our home. I've slowly been decluttering over the months, but was still at this point of nonstop stress. I realized even through my decluttering, I was hanging on to way too much. I haven't been ruthless enough. All of a sudden, it hit me the other night that if we didn't have so much stuff in our house, I wouldn't have to be constantly cleaning or picking up said stuff. The less you have, the less you have to tend to. It was like I knew this, but it really clicked the other night in an epiphany moment that I had. I started decluttering yet again. As you see in the video, I'm decluttering, and at this time it's like 10:30 at night, and I'm going through our office area stuff. Our office room is an open room, and my kids love to touch things they aren't supposed to. I mean, that's a normal kid thing. Kids like doing what they're not supposed to do. So I recently started implementing a new rule that hasn't been there for their entire lives. So it's going to take some time for them to learn. So basically, I'm teaching them that they don't touch anything on mommy and daddy's desks. However, since I just started implementing this boundary, they're not exactly listening all the time about it. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. So I figured, how can I make my life and theirs easier? This is the room that often overwhelms me the most. This room and the room next to it, as well as my kitchen. Those are like the 3 areas that really just accumulate so much stuff, and I find that I'm always just picking up stuff constantly. And then I thought to myself, like, why is there so much stuff here anyways, Because I feel like an essential part to decluttering is to being realistic. So the main problem I've come to realize why it's so hard for me and my husband to declutter is because we have a lot of stuff, but a lot of our stuff does serve us. So for example, we own and run our skincare business in home, and there's so many things from camera equipment to gear to backdrops for photos and paperwork and other business things that we do absolutely need. We don't have a warehouse to store this stuff in. Like, we work in home, store everything in home. And so, yes, we have a basement, but we can't store it all in the basement. So a lot of it gets stored and used in our office area. So this is what takes up a lot of our office area. And it's not really items that I actually can declutter. Like, we need them. And so being honest with myself about that helps me to be like, okay, well, since I can't literally get rid of this stuff because we need it, what can I be more ruthless with the stuff I can get rid of? Like, what clutter, what other things in this room don't really need to be here? So although some of the visual clutter that we currently have has a purpose, I want to be very intentional about the other items in our home and having less of that to kind of make up for the excess business items that we have and kind of even the playing field in that way, if that makes sense. So then I can thus limit my visual clutter and mental stress in my headspace. I hope that made sense. So the recipe book you see me going through in the video, I have recipes printed out that I've either not made yet but want to make for both me and my husband's dietary preferences. And I also have recipes that I make all the time, but I haven't made the time to sit and write the recipes down in my recipe notebook. Once it goes in my recipe notebook, I know this is a recipe I've tried and we love and I make all the time, or I can go back to whenever I need it, so I don't have a loose paper that can easily get slipped out of the notebook. My kids can get a hold of it or whatnot. So I haven't made the time to sit down and go through these recipes and write down the ones that I'm constantly doing. So I did that tonight. I started it anyway. I didn't do all of them, but I started it because it's the small things like loose pieces of papers that stress me out so much. But in the moment, I don't realize the weight of it. Like, what's so stressful about a notebook and a stack of printed papers in it, right? But it is. So for me, and probably some of you, as a homemaker that doesn't have an absolutely outrageous hoarder's home, I do indeed have some clutter. And you probably do too, often in areas you wouldn't expect, like in a notebook or in drawers that you don't see all the time, but you know in your mind, like you can visualize the clutter or the mess in the drawer. Just because it's in a drawer doesn't mean it's not stressful. Just because you can't see it in your head, you can see it, and odds are you might be stressed out about it. So here is your little encouragement, your little nudge to go through your drawers if you have some messy drawers in your home, and to just start clearing it out. The other day, there was a sink overflowing with unwashed dishes, and I realized, why in the world do we have so many cups in our cabinets for everyday use? If we didn't have so many cups, our sink wouldn't be this overflowing, because instead of just grabbing a new cup every time, we would literally have to wash a cup out if we needed a new one, thus limiting the amount of dishes that get piled up in the sink. We're a household of 5. We don't need this many cups. Yes, we do often have people over our house. So me and my husband came to an agreement that we would get rid of some, because he reminded me, people are often here. We don't want to get rid of too many. So we agreed to get rid of a few, but then put some more down in our basement so that if a cup breaks or whatnot, we don't have to go out and buy a whole new one or a new set, because I got rid of them all. We can just walk on down to the basement and replace it. I'm thankful we have space to do this. If we didn't, I honestly would probably just try to convince him to get rid of them. But since we do have the space, I think it's a really smart move. Yes, it's still in the home, but it's out of the main flow of the home. Basement stress is a thing too, though, but I'm not going to talk about that one right now. Another area that can often become stressful and feel cluttered is your bedroom, a place that should be a relaxing, stress-free atmosphere. That brings me to talk about bedding. Now, how in the world is bedding a source of stress? Well, if you're not getting quality sleep, that's terrible for your health. You should create a bedroom and sleep in bedding that promotes that. I don't know about you, but nothing excites me less than climbing into a bed that looks like it's been through the ringer and feels like it too. Sheets that are stained from body sweat and blankets that are pilling and scratching your body after only having them for a couple of months too. I want to thank Triton Linen for sponsoring this portion of the video. They were so kind to send me their entire non-toxic, eco-friendly, breathable bedding set made from 100% pure French linen. I've never had linen bed sheets before, so I was excited to sleep in them for the first time. I was extremely pleased and surprised at how good of a sleep I slept that night. My husband was definitely quite unsure about the sheets himself since he has never had linen sheets before, but he just told me he's surprised at how good of a sleeping experience he has and how comfortable the bedding actually is. Linen is such an awesome material because it's skin-friendly, antibacterial, and hypoallergenic, making it great for all skin types, especially those with sensitive skin like myself. Linen products become softer with age and washing, making them highly durable and great for long-term use. These buttons on the duvet cover are beautiful and they actually seem very sturdy. A previous duvet cover I had was also a button closure, but a button was constantly coming undone, no matter what I did. With these, I can tell the sturdiness and that they're going to stay put. I've come to realize shopping small is the way to go, and Triton Linen is a small business I love supporting. And you may be wondering why I'm endorsing to buy something and bring something else into your home when I'm literally talking about decluttering. Because y'all, bedding stress is real, and I've had that for so long now. What do I mean? Well, a few months ago, we upgraded our bed to a king size from a queen. So we got the king sheets and pillowcase add-on from the same website we bought our mattress from. That was available because we figured this is a big reputable brand for bedding, so their sheets must be good. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. They started pilling after the first wash, y'all, and have literally gotten worse by the day. We also went to Marshall's to look for a bedding comforter and blanket a few months ago, and we found some that looked really nice and the price wasn't too bad, so we got it. Y'all, do you see this blanket? This pilling is horrible. Horrible. And it's not even the main blanket we use. It looks like it's been around for years. If I spend money on a new item, I want that new item to look good quality for a long time. Money doesn't grow on trees, as you all know. So that brings me to why I'm talking about Triton linen. Yes, it may be higher prices than you're used to spending, maybe not. But if it is, know that it's higher quality too. And when you invest in high quality items, and I'm not talking about highly priced items where you're paying just for the name, because there's a big difference. Truly high quality items, they usually far outlive cheaper options that you end up having to replace more often. Thus, that actually saves you more money over the long run versus buying cheaper options and every few months or every few years, you just invest in high quality and have it for years to come. That's why it's usually wise to invest in high quality items because they usually end up saving you money. Check the description box for a link to the bedding I have, as well as a special discount code for you all, because who doesn't like saving money on high quality stuff, right? Like if you could get something for high quality plus save extra money on it, it's a win-win. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, okay, I have way too much stuff and mental stress, but I'm so overwhelmed, I don't even know where to start. Been there. My advice would be start by tackling one area of a time, perhaps a room or even just a drawer. Assess each item and ask yourself if it truly serves a purpose for you and your family on the regular day-to-day basis. Or as Marie Kondo would say, does it bring joy? Consider donating or recycling items you no longer need, knowing that letting go can be liberating. Now, sometimes necessities don't bring joy, but they're necessities, right? It's like, I wouldn't look at my can opener and say, this brings me joy, but I look at my can opener and say, yeah, I use this on a maybe not daily basis, but multiple times a week. So we need you, okay? We're gonna keep you around, can opener. But do I have an avocado saver or a tomato saver? Because I definitely did have both of those things that I bought one day thinking, oh my gosh, this would be such a great thing to put my half of avocados or my cut tomatoes. Like this would be such a good thing. Reality is I never used it. And when I did, it would just take up more space in the refrigerator, causing me to use it even less. So I just said, you know what? This was a great idea, I thought, but reality is it's not serving me, so I got rid of it. And some people get caught up on the idea of, oh, I spent money on it, so I'm going to keep it. I want to encourage you to just let it go, because at the end of the day, that money's already gone. It's not coming back. Whether you use the item or you don't, the money's not coming back. It's already gone out your bank account. So it's like, if this thing literally isn't serving me on a daily basis or a weekly basis, it's literally just taking up space in my home and mental stress in my head and physical stress because I have to keep up with all of the items that I have, even though I'm not using them. So just get rid of it or donate it to someone who might use it more than you. Maybe it's a linen closet where you want to start at. Go through your linens, towels, hand towels, face towels, and bed sheets. A lot of these can actually be repurposed. That's what I do. So when I get really dingy face towels or hand towels, instead of just throwing them away, I'll repurpose it for my cleaning. So I'll just put a few of them in my cleaning bucket, and now I have nice, even though they're stained, they're, nice thick cleaning towels. Repurpose it, Think about how many of each you actually need for you and your family. Like, do you really need 6 sets of sheets for one bed, or is 3 a more manageable number? Are some of the sheets really stained or dingy looking? Can you get rid of it? If so, just do it. Just do it. If all your items are in great condition and you do have extra storage space, you can also consider storing them away so when one of your main sheets in rotation gets worn out, you can get rid of it and then replace it with one of the ones you've stored away in an attic or basement. But if you truly don't have the space or you just don't want to hang on to that extra stuff stored away, just get rid of it or donate it or give it to someone. Because I know having too much stuff in storage in your home, for me anyways, is also a source of stress. Sometimes for your sanity and stress, it's better to just buy it when you need it. I have this problem when it comes to storing kids' clothes because, well, whenever we do have our next kid, I want to save all this stuff, right? But the reality is, it's like if I save my toddler's shoes that she's wearing today, which are size 10 for the next kid, like she's 4.5, odds are, even if I got pregnant tomorrow, it still takes time to have a baby and for that baby to grow up. Like it's going to be like 5 years at least before the kid gets to wear those shoes. Are they really in that good of condition to save? And if they're not, were they really that expensive anyway? Or can I just buy a pair when I need it so I don't have a whole bunch of stuff that I then have to sort through, taking probably days of my time? Like, is this even in season? Because it might come to the time I might save all of these things and then it's like, oh, well, these are winter shoes that this next kid is in, but these are summer shoes. So the sizing is just totally off. So in reality, I could have saved all this stuff just for the next kid to never wear any of it, or the kid could wear some of it or all of it. Like, I don't know, but that's something you have to figure out within yourself. So for me personally, because I know the way prices are, I do save some, but I have been saving less because I'm like, really at the end of the day, how many clothes do I need to save for the next kid? You don't need 50 shirts, because I'm saving stuff from both of my daughters now. And if the kid's a boy, it's like, well, all this pretty much goes in the garbage anyway, or to donation. Anyways, be honest with yourself. And I think that's a huge thing to remember when decluttering. Another big area to think about if you have kids is toy decluttering. This has been a hard one for me. I'm not even gonna lie. I still struggle with it, but I am making progress in this area and I do love it. Less is really more for both you and your children. As you clear away the clutter, you'll likely find that your mind feels lighter too. You'll have more time and energy to focus on what truly matters, spending quality moments with your family, nurturing your relationships, and cultivating a home that embodies warmth and love versus cleaning all of the time. Also, you can do other things you enjoy. Maybe it's knitting, maybe it's reading a book. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve perfection, but to create a space that supports and enhances your family's well-being as well as your mental relaxation. Embrace the journey of decluttering as an opportunity for growth and watch not only as your home transforms into a place of more peace and joy, but you yourself will be less stressed and more relaxed. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and comment down below what area you're gonna declutter first. God's love for you surpasses your wildest imagination. See you next time, friends.